thanks for joining once again. Today I'm going to show you how to set up for a thread the needle pose from Yin Yoga. Let's do it! The first variation of this pose is a twisted tadpole or a wide-legged child's pose with a twist. So sit on your heels, separate your thighs, walk your hands forward a little bit, twist your torso, and thread the right arm under the left. Like with a child's pose, your heels and your glutes should remain in contact. So if your glutes lifted off of your heels, use your props to fill the gap. And your head should be fully supported on the floor. So if there's a bit of a gap, use your props once again. When you're ready to come out, slowly untwist, walk your torso back up, and you're done. Now for the full thread the needle pose, first start on all fours, hips over knees and shoulders over wrists. Walk your left hand forward just a little bit to give you some space. Twist your torso towards the left and thread the right arm under the left. Bring your head and ear towards the floor. Make sure that they're fully supported. If you need to use a pillow or a towel here to fill the gap, feel free to do so. And once you're here, your hips probably shifted a little bit, so shift them back to center. With this pose, we're targeting the spiral lines of the back, so a little bit of the functional line as well as the spiral line. So we are targeting one hip and the opposite arm. This is a very good stretch or a very good pose for people who do a lot of twisting motions, a lot of twisting sports like golf, baseball, tennis. But it's also a really good pose to target a little bit of the thoracic spine. This pose should be easy and should give you just a gentle opening across the back. If you feel like you have too much weight on your head, shift your hips back. And it's okay to revert to the first variation, the twisted tadpole. Do a full body scan to ensure that you're not holding tension in any part of your body. Make sure you can breathe easily. Breathe. If at any point you feel that you need to come out, feel free to do so very slowly. Although we aim to hold the poses for at least 3 minutes, it's much more important to listen to your body and come out when it's had enough. To come out, engage your non-working arm, in this case the left one. Slowly untwist, come back to all fours. And before we take the pose to the other side, we're going to do a few rounds of cat and cow, just to bring back circulation to the back and to loosen up the thoracic spine a little bit more. So on an inhale, you drop your belly and your chest to the floor. And on an exhale, you curve your back, starting at the belly. Inhale, drop. Exhale, round from the low back to the mid back to the cervical spine. Arch as much as you can here. Go at your own pace and follow your own breath. When you're ready, let's take a pose on the other side. Right hand forward, twist your torso, thread the left arm under the right, bring your ear and head to the floor, shift your hips back to center. Your right arm can remain here, or you can lift the forearm off the ground and just walk your hand closer to your body for a little bit more support. Be very mindful of your shoulders here and your neck. So again, if your neck isn't, or if your head isn't quite fully touching the floor, use a pillow or a folded towel. And again, if it's more comfortable to shift your hips back, feel free to do so. Always remember too that each pose that is unilateral will be different on each side. So don't beat yourself up if you're able to twist a little bit more on one side than on the other. The more that you practice and the more that you work through those fascial adhesions, the more your body will adapt. Even from day to day, these yin yoga poses might be different. Maybe today you're able to twist and fold. Maybe tomorrow you're a little bit more stiff and you're unable to do the poses, and that is totally fine. Just honor your body. And again, if your body is telling you that it's had enough of the pose, feel free to come out. Your body is always the best indicator. So listen to it. Breathe. Remember that it's important to hold these poses as statically as possible. So take your time getting into the pose. Explore all the variations before you stop to hold, so that when you find the variation that works for you, you can simply hold and benefit the fascial trains. Now very gently come out, and let's do a few more rounds of cat and cow. With an inhale, you drop your belly and your chest to the floor, maybe look up. And with the exhale, you round your low back, your mid back, and your neck. Inhale, drop everything. Exhale, round as much as you can. Give some space to your vertebrae. We compress them all day long by sitting and with improper postures. So these poses paired with gentle movements are great to give mobility and freedom to your spine. And there we go. Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you on the next pose.